I am here with trainer Ricky Funez, who is getting ready to prepare his fighters for a November 14th bout, who also happens to be his nephew, Juan. Rick, how's Juan been looking in training camp?
Juan is looking great right now. I mean, at beginning, it's been a year off since he hasn't fought. But lately, he's been working his ass off right now. He's looking sharper and sparring towards the end. The beginning, I was kind of like, hesitating what's really going on with him. But he was just getting tired. His body needed a good massage, which we ended up getting a week ago. And now he's looking sharp the way I want him to, make him miss, pay. Just looking sharper than before. He's hungry right now.
He's had a year off. Why has he had such a long time off from the ring?
He had fractured his hand. I don't know if you remember that, but he fractured his hand after a year. Then Dan passed away, and just let him take some time off. Other than that, we're getting back on track right now on a small show with Herbie Estrada. The show's going to be in Lancaster at the Pioneer Center. And little by little, getting back on track. Boxing's not the same without Dan Goose, and he was our promoter, and it's kind of hard to take him to different promoters. It's kind of hard to really trust somebody out there. I've been talking with Sam Watson, who deals with Al Heyman. We'll see what happens there.
Al Heyman is a big name in boxing. What is the plan for Juan in his career? He's an undefeated prospect. He's moving through the ranks. What do you want to see him do?
I want him to become world champion. It's a process like anything. You take those steps. Like they say out there, we put him in there with the right opponent. I don't want him to get hurt, because in the beginning of his career, when he turned pro, all he did was just fight tough opponents, tough guys. And right now, we're trying to get him some guys that we know that he's going to be able to walk through them. Not necessarily walk through them, but give him a challenge, you know what I mean? And get him out of there right away. And then start putting him with challenging fighters again. He's a tough kid. I know that from the get-go. He could handle his own inside the ring. So little by little, just build him up, and hopefully in the future get him in there and start fighting contenders. You never know. With the right people behind us, the right management, and everything's possible.
Juan is your nephew. Do you find it's a little bit harder to train him? Are you a little bit harder on him because he is your family?
Yeah, it is pretty hard actually, because me as his uncle, I want the best. And I could see him perform better at times. Sometimes he slacks it, and that's where I get very strict with him. I don't want him to slack at all. I want him to look sharp every time. And it's like you're saying, sometimes in sparring, he doesn't look like he should. But when it comes to fight night, he has proven to me that he could fight, It's just that I want more out of him. And sometimes he cannot. But I understand that. But I got to show him. I got to ride him sometimes. I have to be strict with him. And he knows that. He's proven it to me in the past, So it is kind of hard.
You and Joe have worked some of the biggest fights in boxing history. What do you see for Juan as far as his style? Who do you see him? Who does he remind you of?
It's kind of awkward, He has a awkward style, He tries to do the Floyd, and he does it a little bit. Arguello that people compare him to, not in a fighting way, but his tallness, skinniness. Juan has his unique style. That's one thing I like about him. He's awkward. And just like any other awkward fighter out there, Juan has the guts and the heart that just impresses me sometimes, But I learned a lot from Joe. Joe has been my mentor and my teacher since I was 12 years old. And same stack gym. I've been here since I was a kid. And I see that in Juan. Juan could become a world champion just if he follows and listens to instructions right, and listens to people's advice, our advice, not other people's, you know what I mean? Because there's always people that come and put things in your ears, But that's our goal, Things in boxing could happen, anything could happen in boxing. And I've seen that with Joe. There's loyal people and there's unloyal fighters. I've seen fighters go in and out of this gym, like Corrales, Casamayor, Michael Nunn, Terry Norris, so forth, I've seen fighters like that go in and out, and I expect with Juan that someday, that if he listens to what Joe and I tell him, he could go places, That's our goal right now. So see what happens.
November 14th, he's taking on Manuel Romero. What do you want to see out of him this fight? What do you want him to work on?
We're working hard for everything. a lot of people are looking for knockouts. You know, Juan is not a big puncher, but if he lands the right punch, anything could happen. So what we're going there and focus is work hard and try to take this guy boxing really good and smart. You know, put in those combinations that Juan has been practicing. And if a knockout comes, let it come out. You know, Juan will put that pressure and throw those combinations. I just hope he does perform the way he's been training here.
He is a tall fighter. He's 5'10". Do you want to see him use his reach more, and do you want him to see him stay outside?
Most definitely, because remember, like I said, he makes those fights tough for himself. Since he turned pro, all his fights he's made them tough, and I need him to box, use his height and his length, use those tricky punches that he throws. So we'll see what he does, and I believe that he will perform and execute that day.
Best of luck to you guys November 14th.
I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Supreme Boxing, thank you.